James Lynch here for Home of Fight. It is great catching up with YOUSSEF ZALAL, who we haven't heard from in a bit. Obviously, he had that last fight against Aljamain Sterling, but I want to get an update and get his thoughts on a bunch of things here. YOUSSEF, how you doing, man?
I am good, my man. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, and we were trying to do this interview, I think, a week ago. You were in Morocco, obviously back home visiting family. How did the trip go?
It was good, man. It was good. Especially the day before I left, I had like a seminar that I was not even kind of like ready for or anything. That just kind of happened out of nowhere. They're like, "Hey, we have a lot of guys, this and that." So I was like, "Oh man, I got to do this. I got to give back to the community and stuff like that." And sure enough, I went in and did the seminar, and it turned out to be, oh my God, it was so many people in a smaller place. It was crazy. So it was definitely a great experience.
That's good. How many people showed up?
God, but I think it was easy 30, 40 more. And then
Nice.
they stopped people from coming in.
Yeah. Well, I imagine too. I mean, you probably, I know you do realize, and you're obviously proud of your heritage and everything, but like you got to have a huge following in terms of being a Moroccan fighter in the UFC. Like that's pretty unique, right?
Yeah, man, it's pretty dope. Like I didn't like, you don't realize that until you like go into your home country and then see what the effect you have and all that stuff. So it means the world to me, man, just to kind of see that and see this inspiring kids, and like they're motivated. They're like they all wanted to showcase their skills against me and stuff like that. So it made me grateful and very happy.
How long were you there for?
So I was only there for not yeah 2 weeks. I
Mhm.
think it was like not even. So I just went in for the holidays for the Eid because I haven't spent the Eid for 14 years. So I was
Wow.
like, oh, let me just go in there, spent it, and man, it was a great turnout. I got to do my first sacrifice to the sheep, two actually, two of my whole life. I've never done it. This is the first time, so well now twice. So it felt amazing, and it was a good just a good experience, man. Just to be with family and stuff like that. So it was amazing.
So what does that entail? Not to go in too much into detail, but like what does the whole thing entail?
No, so you basically sacrifice the sheep and you have to like make it halal, basically. So you have to read God's name and stuff like that in the Muslim community, and then
Okay.
you get a sharp knife, and then you find the artery, the two I can't remember what they call them, and then you go. So you make it an easy, quick death. So that was my first time ever doing it because I'm not good with blood. I hate blood, and for
Says
me
the
to do
fighter,
it, it
right?
was
Yeah, but
yeah, that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. So
yeah.
for me, it was a great experience.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, what kind of a once in a lifetime type thing. Did you get much training, or was it just kind of all like you mentioned the seminar? But did you train at all, or was it just all taking some time off? Because
Not
you had a
really. It
pretty
was
big
like
grind. Yeah.
mostly family time off. But it was like, to be honest, I think I trained maybe twice. I was there. That's it.
Yeah. Well, it's good too to have the mental reset. That's always good. Let's talk about the last fight. I know it's not fun to talk about a loss, but I'm sure you learned a lot fighting former champion and Aljamain Sterling. I don't know if you've gone back and watched the tape, but what was your biggest takeaway from that fight?
Man, I learned a lot of stuff. I learned a lot of stuff about me in camp and the outside stuff, and people that I trust and not trust and stuff like that. There's a lot of things I learned, but the biggest thing, man, which is shout out to Aljamain, man, that experience definitely had an effect on me. And I think I'm a very experienced guy, especially in the UFC. So for me to see that pure experience and talent that can change a lot of things, but pure experience changes the whole fight. So for me, after that third round, I was like, man, I gave it everything I had in that third round because I was like, oh man, it was so super close. And then to see the fourth round, he just did not care. He's just like, okay, I'm going, I'm showing the experience, I'm gonna give him everything. And shout out to him, man. I think that fight, it's gonna make me a world champion, and I can't wait to be a world champion. I'll still, that's the dream I have, and I will be a world champion.
Well, and again, you're still so young in the sport. Like we forget, I know this is your second UFC stint, but you got into the UFC pretty young. So it's like, to some degree, like even though you have a lot of fights, you still are kind of learning on the job to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I definitely learned a lot from that fight. I'll tell you that, man. It's to see that just that small little details. It's not about big crazy details. It's small little details and small little IQ details like that you don't recognize until like in the fight, and then it happens. So for me to see that and feel that right now, it means a lot to me. So I know I'm not that far. I know I'm not that far. So for me to fight a legend like him and to have the experience and the knowledge with him, it means everything to me. So like I said, there's a lot of things I could have done, fixed, and whatever, but again, it's the end of the day. It's a fight. What happened happened. You move on. There's no excuses. There's nothing. He beat me fair and square. Shout out to him, and hopefully he can obviously get one more, two more before he's done. But obviously, I'm still aiming for the top, and I will be at the top.
How was it after the fight, social media wise? Because I know you were the favorite going in. Because I'm sure that's new for you, right? Like since you've been back, you've won all your UFC fights. How was that side of things? Because I know you have a lot of fans, but obviously, you know how people are when a favorite loses.
Man, I stopped giving a damn, to be
Okay.
honest. Like I like F the fans like that. They're looking for attention, not the
Mhm.
fans that like actually support you and all that.
Mhm.
So I'm at the end of the day, it's like I'm just gonna keep doing me and do me. Like what matters, you like it or not, is the favorite because we were the favorite for a reason, and obviously it's a fight game, so everything can change. Like Khamzat was the favorite. Look at that. Like there's a lot of things that changes and all that, and obviously we have this weekend, so we even know who's the favorite, not the favorite. You know what I mean? So in the end of the day, it's the fight game. I what I'm blessed and grateful for that I learned a lot from that fight and my first ever 5 round, my first ever experience, and I'm taking everything out of it, and I can't wait to showcase it in the next fight.
Are there any changes that you're going to be making going forward? You talked about some outside stuff and other things. Is there anything in particular that you're willing to share here that you are looking to do differently for your next fight?
Yeah, man, there's definitely some things we're talking about it, me and the team and stuff like that, and obviously bringing in some high level guys and stuff like that. So I think some things a little bit gonna change a little bit. I can't get into crazy details, but it's definitely gonna be a little small changes and stuff like that, and we'll go from there.
Do you think there'll be more freedom to do more cross training? I know that was something that sort of recently happened, maybe a year or two ago. Like you getting to work with Gaethje and Sandhagen and those guys. Do you think there'll be more of that going forward?
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that obviously is good, and you know, obviously we're still kind of we're about a month since the fight. When do you want to get back in there? You know, the one card I looked at, obviously the July 25th card in Abu Dhabi. Is that too soon, or what are you sort of looking at next as far as the next card?
I don't want to fight till like October or so. To be honest, I want to
Okay.
like the whole Aljamain fight, and I fought like I got the call, and
Mhm.
I had 2 weeks left of Ramadan, and then like 4 more weeks after that. So it's like everything was kind of rushed and like packed up and everything. Because I don't train in Ramadan. I do
Mhm.
not train in Ramadan. I take that month off. Don't do nothing. Just kind of enjoy life, be closer to God and stuff like that. So for me, it was kind of like off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me to kind of get that, I was like, I'm not turning this big opportunity. There's no way I'm turning this big opportunity. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that happened and learned a lot from. So for me, I want to make sure the next opponent I want to give full attention to and full camp and everything like that. So I'm hoping October or later.
Okay, that makes sense, and I'm sure too some of these changes you want to do, it needs some time to kind of marinate with that as well, and give yourself lots of time. So when you do come back, you know things are 100%,
It's
right?
not a surprise. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like a shock.
Okay. No, I respect that. Yeah. No, that certainly makes sense. And I guess same thing with an opponent. You got to see what things look like in October because the division could be different, right?
Well, that's what the thing is, especially with the 45 division, everything changes in one fight. So I think with the Garcia and Diego Lopez, that changed a lot of things. Diego wins, you're like, okay, whatever. But Garcia wins, now he's up in the top five. So that breaks down people more down and then changes everything else in that division. So I think it all depends in literally each fight in that 45 division.
Yeah, that's true. I know you did talk about. I got to mention it because you mentioned it on Jackson about Kevin Vallejos. You're not super impressed or something. Was kind of the polite way of saying it. I think was kind of what you were saying.
Man, let that guy talk. When he wants, I hope they give me his name, and I hope I see that contract, and I'll show him the kid that runs and the kid that circles and the kid that is not fun to fight. I can't wait. I can't wait to give him a reality check and show him there's levels to this.
Okay, what's stemming from that? You're a pretty nice guy. I don't ever like. I mean, there's been like one
I'm
or
a
two
very
opponents.
nice guy,
Yeah,
man. It's
yeah.
like for me, it's like I love when people see you, they like act cool, and then they get on Twitter and then they got the fat fingers, you know what I mean? And they wanna say, oh, I prefer fighting Aljamain and Youssef. Knockouts are better than submissions and all this and this and that. And like for me, I said nothing but congrats about his fight. He looked amazing, blah blah. And I said people forget. I was like, hey, I finished him quicker than he did. So it's like for me, it's like things like that. So, but hey, it's a fight game. People want to see people talk smack anyway. So hey, maybe you get it going, and he's the one who kind of got me into that mode a little bit. So you want
Okay.
to tweet about it, you want to do anything about it, but we'll see in real life and see what happens. Hopefully they give me that contract, like I said, and if that happens, happens. It doesn't, I'm looking for the top five.
Yeah, that makes sense. So this is Kevin Vallejos. He tweeted all this stuff, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he said,
Yeah.
all Yusuf does is run and stuff like that. I was like, okay, cool, no
Now I got
problem.
to ask you a question. I think it is him, but there are some times when you have like a manager or someone tweeting for the fighter because I don't think he speaks English, right? So I do wonder that with him in particular. But it sounds. I mean, obviously you got to get that. You represent yourself on social media too, right?
I do everything myself. I ain't gonna be
No, I know you do,
no
but I'm saying that
management.
there's some fighters when they don't speak English that their manager does tweet for them sometimes. We've
Well,
seen
you're
this
gonna
happen.
learn English if we fight, so that's the difference.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
So, no matter what, we'll find out.
Okay, no, I just wanted to clarify that because I know like Cleo Roundtree's come out and said how much he doesn't like Magomed and Kalaev, and I'm like, I don't think that's tweeting. Those tweets are his. You know what I mean?
Well, I think so. You're right, but
Yeah.
hey, man, if something tweeted something out of you,
It
that's
comes from you though. No, the onus is still on the fighter because you should be
you
monitoring what
approve
people
it.
are saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
So for me, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Like I said,
Okay.
if he doesn't speak English, he's gonna learn English. So
Okay. I like that. Quickly, we got the White House card this weekend. You mentioned the Diego Lopez Steve Garcia fight. Interesting fight. It's actually one of the fights on the card that, if you look at the odds, it's fairly close. I think most of the fights are kind of a little bit wider. But what's your take on that fight and who wins? Because that's your division, obviously.
it's a very weird fight. I think if it's standing, I think it's a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe because they both love chaos. They both aggressive, strong, powerful strikers. I think if maybe we see Diego get a takedown, that changes a lot of things. But it's a very coin flip for me for that fight, to be honest.
So you don't favor anyone in that one. I think Lopez is the
No,
favorite.
I
No.
don't. I don't. I mean, I can see why because I think he has more experience
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But if you want me to pick, I'm like, it's a coin flip. Like one day I'm like Garcia, one day I'm like Diego, and I'm like just going back and forth. So I was like, I don't know.
What do you make of the strength of schedule, though? Because that's one thing people are talking about. Nothing against your teammate David Onama, who's amazing, obviously. But if you look at sort of who he's fought compared to who Diego's been in there with, and I know Diego's lost some of those fights, right? 2 Volk fights. He lost to Evloev as well. There's kind of that take of like, well, who has the better schedule? So I wonder if that's also playing into the odds, too.
It could. That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
experience might have to do with everything because,
Yeah.
again, like you said, he fought a very experienced guys.
Yeah.
So to go in there, but Garcia also fought experienced guys. I don't think they're as the high level as Diego's guys, but I think it's pretty high level too. So, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You can
Yeah.
be high experience and all that. Like you can still go and beat an experienced guy. So
Mhm.
it all depends on, like I said, on how you go out there and perform.
What do you make of Pereira gone? Your thoughts on that fight?
Bro, that fight is the same thing. I feel like if it's a 5 round, which
Yeah.
changes a lot of things, but I think with Gon moving so well, that can have an effect. But again, Pereira's power is always there, so we'll see. And he's also good at the calf kicks, so that might change the whole fight. So, who's the favorite in that fight?
The odds have been going back and forth. I think Pereira is the favorite. I'll have to
I
check.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking at odds right now. Pereira's like a slight favorite. Like I'm seeing some books have him at like -117, so it's not by much, right? Like it's close. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And I know you're boys with Gaethje, so we can maybe skip that one. But just your thoughts on that fight, obviously, because Topuria and him have been going back and forth. Like I'm starting to get
I
some.
just saw that. Yeah,
Well, you
that's
know
like
what's
all out of
interesting about
nowhere.
that? I'm getting some Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm vibes. Remember, Ronda had like a big problem with some of the stuff that Holly was saying, but it seemed a bit like over the top. And then obviously Ronda lost. I'm not saying Gaethje's going to beat him, but I do wonder about that. Where like Topuria seems really upset by some of the stuff that Gaethje said, which is kind of out of character for him a little bit.
I know, but my thing is, what did he say? I didn't even know. He's saying, I think I saw a video somebody posted that said the MMA Junkie or something that said Gaethje said, or no, it's Paramount.
Yeah.
Paramount posted that they saying Gaethje said, I don't want to be with that guy. Like I don't want to be. Nobody wants to be like his friend or whatever. So he was talking about his wife.
Yeah.
and that's where he took it as that. And I was like, damn. I mean, we're fighters, so we try to look for everything to make it personal. So I see it and I don't see it. So for me, all I know is gonna be a very exciting first round. That's all I know.
Yeah, if it even goes past the first round, I mean, it could
That's
be
what I'm
quick.
saying.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be crazy first round.
So yeah, we talked about Morocco and all that. How does your schedule kind of change when you don't have a fight coming up? Like obviously you're training, but like what do you do to fill in that other time when it's like, you know, probably time to do like weight cutting stuff or whatever? Like how different is your schedule when you don't have a fight?
To be honest, like you said, like I try to go back slowly. I feel like the mistake I learned, and again, this comes with experience, is like I try to rush back in. Like, oh my god, you lost a fight, go back in fully, like 3 practices a day and all this. So like now it's like, okay, one start with 1 practice and then make it to 2 practices and then start making it 3 practices and like stuff like that. So for me, I think it's just I learned a lot. So it's like once I the only difference is like the less training, and then like I'll just be running errands and doing a bunch of stuff. So that's pretty much the difference between in camp and out of camp.
The top of your division, it looks like Volk wants Movsar next. Do you think that fight happens? I think it finally does, and I'm curious to see how
I
that
think
goes.
I think they're gonna fight in August.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And do you think Volk can do it again, or do you think Movsar can break Volk here and get the win?
It's a tough fight, man, because Mozart is a tough dude, man. He's been in that top of the division for a long, long, long time. So I think he finally gets his shot. So I think he has a lot to prove. And but also Volk, I think he's gonna fight when he's 39 now or
Mhm.
38, whatever. So he has a lot more to prove too. So but I potentially see that potentially might be his last fight, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then we haven't spoken since Strickland beat Chimaev. How surprised were you by that?
I was very surprised about that when he took him down and he's Chimaev just stayed. So I don't know what was going on or whatever. Obviously, it's a fight. I don't judge people what how they perform and all that. That was just surprising to me. So I don't know what happened, what was going on. So but I do see him doing a lot better at 205 than that 185. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll see what comes back. But obviously I think it makes the division very interesting now.
Yeah, and that's the thing I wonder. Like, I know he wants the rematch with Strickland, but I also know that, like, even before the fight, he was talking about fighting at 205. We heard the weight cut wasn't good. Like, I just wonder if you're the UFC, do you even want to go that route when you got Imavov waiting in the wings? And, like, they got to get the division moving a bit. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think the fight was close, and I certainly don't have an issue with people scoring it for Chimaev, but I just wonder, like, is that the best for his future? It might be to go to 205, especially with Pereira now moving up. They've lost kind of a big name in the division.
Yeah, I think you either got to figure out some stuff with the weight cutting, like don't do it too late, or like which I understand, like like weight cutting is very hard, but also like if you cut off a lot of stuff, you're not gonna have a great camp. You know what I mean? So you don't want that either. So I don't blame him at all. So for him to go 205, I think his wrestling is gonna do a lot of damage in that division. So because there's not a whole lot of wrestler, but you also got to watch out the power. That's gonna change a lot of things. So I'll be interested. I would watch it. I would love to
Yeah.
see him. I would love to watch comes out no matter what. So it doesn't matter when he's fighting. I watch. So I can't wait to see what he does.
And just last question, where are you watching the White House event this weekend, and who you watching it with?
So I'm gonna be at the Washington D.C.
Oh,
I
you're
do not
going.
know where I'm watching it. So I'm going with my boy Dustin Jacoby.
Oh,
We're
nice.
going in, and I have no clue what they have for us or what we doing. I know I'm not sitting on the lawn, so that's not happening. So we'll see whatever they have. Like I said, whatever they have for us, I'll be there.
Is Dustin making you golf with him?
He wanted me to, but he's not bringing golfing this time.
Oh,
So,
really?
so
Wow,
I
that's
was like,
so rare. Usually, like, he'll
yeah,
try and
that's
take
what I
advantage eventually.
said.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I was like, man, he's addicted to golfing. So I'm like, and I'm bad at golfing. I never golfed. I probably would never golf to be honest. Maybe I should golf because
You
there's a
should. It's
lot of
great.
business
Yeah. You can
business
close some deals.
opportunities and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. So, but maybe in the future, I'm terrible at it.
Are you
Terrible
better
at
than
it.
Chris Gutierrez? I heard he had a tough time when he went out with coach.
Probably, I probably would have been better with Chris. Probably, yes.
Okay. We'll have to check that out. Youssef, thanks for doing this, man. I'm not going to keep you any longer. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Nah, man. Thank you again for having me, and thank you to the fans, and thank you for my team, obviously, and all the people that support me, and I can't wait to be back and keep an eye out.